Look, I know that a lot of you guys don't like getting into politics. You don't like hearing about the government. You don't want to hear about the left side. You don't want to hear about the right side. But a ton of you have not seen this yet. And those of you that have, pay attention to these cuts. You're going to want to share this with anyone and everyone. Stuff like this that wakes up those sleepwalkers. It's stuff like this that's going to get people's attention when it gets to this level. So in this video, I've taken out a few cuts, the stuff that you need to see. That way you don't have to watch the full video, the full speech. I can tell you that when you hear this, it doesn't matter what side of the game you're on, whether you have a side, you don't have a side. It's going to make you want to start prepping or at least bucking up your game. This is insane. Welcome back to the subs. If you're brand new here, what we do here at Riverside Homestead Life is we give you news updates that affect you. And we also do weekly tips and how-tos when it comes to emergency readiness. Like I always say, if that's your type of thing, hit that notification bell so you guys can stay up to date. Let's jump into this one. So like I said, it doesn't matter what your political standpoint is. It doesn't matter. Watching this is eye-opening enough for anyone. So before I get to the crazy stuff, do you remember? Once upon a time, it was all about unity.
Fear not, because once again, Joe is giving you his word as a Biden. Watch this.
Even in this moment, with all the challenges we face, I give you my word as a Biden, I've never been more optimistic about America's future.
Really? During his 5-decade career in the Washington swamp, lying has been a way of life for Joe Biden. But his most recent pledge to unify the country might be his worst fabrication of all time. Remember this?
To restore the soul and secure the future of America requires so much more than words. It requires the most elusive of all things in a democracy: unity. Unity. My whole soul is in this, bringing America together, uniting our people, uniting our nation. And I ask every American to join me in this cause. We can see each other not as adversaries, but as neighbors. We can treat each other with dignity and respect.
So we remember that, right? Crazy thing is it's still being said in the same speech as division. Check this out.
Yeah, in what was one of the most divisive and disgusting speeches ever, delivered by a sitting president, Joe Biden angrily suggested that 74 million Americans are enemies of the state, all while using the Marine Corps officers as props. Watch this.
Let's be honest with each other and with ourselves. Too much of what's happening in our country today is not normal. Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic. But there's no question that the Republican Party today is dominated, driven, and intimidated by Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans. And that is a threat to this country. And here, in my view, is what is true. MAGA Republicans do not respect the Constitution.
What?
They do not believe in the rule of law. They do not recognize the will of the people. MAGA forces are determined to take this country backwards. Backwards to an America where there is no right to choose, no right to privacy, no right to contraception, no right to marry who you love. They promote authoritarian leaders and they fan the flames of political violence. MAGA Republicans look at America and see carnage and darkness and despair.
What?
They spread fear and lies. Lies told for profit and power. I believe we could lift America from the depths of COVID. So we passed the largest economic recovery package since Franklin Delano Roosevelt. And today, America's economy is faster, stronger than any other advanced nation in the world. We have more to go. And I believe we could create a clean energy future and save the planet. So we passed the most important climate initiative ever. I give you my word as a Biden, I've never been more optimistic about America's future. MAGA Republicans have made their choice. They embrace anger. They thrive on chaos. They live not in the light of truth, but in the shadow of lies. They spread fear and lies. Lies told for profit and power.
All of that was a lie. It's remarkable. This was a national primetime presidential address that you paid for in front of Independence Hall. But there was nothing presidential about this.
Wow.
It was a campaign event full of demeaning rhetoric, backlit with ominous red lighting, and Biden's promise to unify the country was an outright lie. That's obvious now. And now, left unchecked, you better believe he will use every lever of the federal government to persecute his political enemies. That is, if Biden is mentally capable, even during the scripted and rehearsed speech.
So the President of the United States is saying it himself. What is his implication on this? Americans considered an enemy of the state? Half of the Americans are considered domestic terrorists. And what do we do to terrorists? I'm telling you guys, it's getting really crazy. It's getting really weird. You can watch tons of news clips on this speech and everyone is wigged out by it. Because what happens when they decide to do the attacks on the terrorists and half of Americans are considered terrorists? Eyes wide open, people, because we're on a very downward, slippery slope to a very, very bad place. You guys gotta tell me what you think about this. I know that there's different standpoints, keep it respectful, but tell me what your prediction is of this. Because to me, this seems pretty concerning. Remember guys, head on a swivel. What are you prepared for? The time to prep is now. Whether you're a prepper or not a prepper, a lot of people are predicting that we're headed towards a dark winter. As you know, there's a lot of crisis. There's a lot of storms brewing all around the world right now, like we've never seen it before. Inflation, recession, food shortages, division, wars. Keep your eyes open, share this video to the world. It's time to wake up America before the once best place to live in the world becomes the worst place to live in the world. Keep prepping, keep learning, keep doing. We'll see you guys on the next one.